Well, hello everybody. How you doing? Who do I got here? Man, let's see. New Fenris. First in. Yep. Connie, how are you doing? Nisi. Hey, Vinny. Wilmer. Art, how you doing? Dwight, good to see you. Steve, 87. How's it going? Ian. Joe Raider, how's it going? Bang got you junction. Carl, how's it going? And John at the Schuylkill River Valley. Gus Hadley, how you doing? Hey, Georgia Sunbelt. Anthony. Good to see everybody this evening. Appreciate everybody showing up. Hey, Roy Eltham, how's it going? Good to see you. I think I've gotten everybody so far. Tennessee River, how are you doing, sir? And give everybody just a couple more minutes. Glad to hear it. Doing peachy. That's what I want to hear. Kyle Stevens, how are you doing? So tonight I thought I'd finish up what I did on my live stream the other night, um, finishing up my Jeep 30. I did that at I think we finished about 10:30 at night. So I didn't want to go any longer than that. I think people were falling asleep, especially Steve, 87. He was falling asleep. Ken, how are you doing? No, I didn't burn my hand. Not too badly, anyway. I'm all through with the grinding. Hey, Scott, how's it going? I'm all through with the grinding. I just got a few wires to solder, and then I'll be done. My big question um, is my camera going to work? That's the question I have. Heath, did I miss Heath? Did Heath pop in here without me seeing him? Yeah, no, Connie, it's the same. Thanks, Norman. uh, yeah, this it's. I'm on StreamYard, and sometimes it'll switch cameras really easily, and sometimes it won't for some unknown reason. Um, I am going to do what I should have done a little bit earlier. I'm going to take a stack of books and my camera on top of it and see if it stays there. Now I'm going to try to switch cameras, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll come back to this one. Okay, so the best laid plans of mice and men, right? Try the camera one more time. Aha! How's that? See, you can even see my hand. Yeah, I actually had to close out of the StreamYard and come back in, which is really weird. So I'm glad it didn't lose the whole live feed. So tell me, sitting down here, can everybody hear me okay from right here by just talking a normal voice? Say yay or nay. Glad to hear it. Good. All right. So I'm going to finish up the Jeep 30 I was working on. Let me see how much further I can pull this. I think that's as far as I can go. My network, I've got it actually plugged into the network, so I don't want to pull the network cable out. So everybody remembers the Jeep 30 I was working on. Camera a little bit so you can see me, although you probably don't see me. Remember, this is what it looked like when I was working on it. But this is what it looks like now. So you can see I did a few things to it. One of the things I did over the weekend was I weathered it. Get rid of the shiny plastic look. I actually have two of these. So this is one friend of mine gave me. And then this is another one I had bought at a train show. So that's what the shell originally looked like, and that's what it looks like now. So there's a couple details that Lifelike had left off of this, and I went back in and did it and weathered it. So, like even though it was red, it still had a red stripe down the side. It was a reflective red stripe. I don't know how well you can see that camera. Plus, it was supposed to have numbers here, and so I put the numbers on, and I put the build plate on. Believe it or not, Wilmer, the F was already on it, so I didn't have to do that. So I did that. And weathered it, and and I closed it up just to see how it runs. I'm still kind of messing with it a little bit. It runs okay, but it's still just a little jerky. If you remember, I had trouble on the live stream getting it to run. It's because the motor had kind of seized up on it. So I've just put about a ton of oil in it. I used a combination. This is called Conductilube. Atlas makes it. And I used that in the motor as well as CRC. So this does well spraying it in the motor too. And so I've been running it. It runs fairly good now, but it still just needs a little more breaking in to get it completely loosened up. So you can hear if I put it on the track. Sure the wheels are on. And I'll start it. Thought I would. There we go. And a couple other things. I got to put the horn on it and the antenna, little firecracker in it. So I'm gonna put in the lights tonight, and if we have a chance to go over it, I'll go over some programming options with you too. Sparky, how's it going? Chris, how are you doing? And I think I said hi to you, Norman, just in case. Hi again. So I will pull it off. The gear is still running because it's got a current keeper in it. And let that bleed out. So just so you know, the way I weathered this, I used a combination of washes and airbrush to do it. What I did is, because this was to try to mimic the fading effect, I took a pink wash first, and then a white one. So I did the pink. What I do is I get the brush good and wet with the wash and just press it up at the top, and then that way the wash runs down the side. And like I said, first I did with the white, then I did with the pink, and then with the white, and then I did a dark gray wash on top of that, so it would kind of highlight the hinges of the doors and the latches and things like that. So once I did that and it got good and dry, then I took an airbrush and airbrushed the top of it. I also did that dark gray wash on the top as well, because when it dries, it'll leave spots like puddled water would dry. So um, so you see that and then I took the airbrush and airbrushed over it. It's a kind of a grayish brown mix that I use. And so that is. Yeah, Gus, that Atlas oil is. I've bought like 5 bottles of it just so I'd have enough on hand for a long time. So, Wigwag, how are you doing? All right. Makes me nervous when nobody's talking. It's like, oh, did I lose the connection? So I'm going to pull the shell off of this. Oh, okay. Of course, I haven't put the. I got a lot of oil dripping off of it, collected in the fuel tank. That's it. Like I said, I've oiled it a lot, probably too much, but it's finally starting to loosen up and run. So. Okay, so what I've got left to do are and the only lights I'm putting in this at least right now, are the front light and the rear light. So I've got 3 wires here: blue wire, white wire, and a yellow wire. Blue wire is the common, and then the white's to the um, front light, and the yellow's to the rear light. So the lights are already up in the shell. See, they're already. Hope you can see that. I've got it up here, glued into the little number board and window for the headlight socket. Same in the back. I just used 3mm 3mm LEDs from Evans Design. And like I was saying on the live stream the other night, what I like about Evans Design is they've got not only do they come with a resistor, but with a bridge rectifier, so you can wire them either way and it doesn't matter. So I could hook either wire to the common and either wire to the white wire front. It would work either way because of that bridge rectifier. So, all right, got my soldering iron here. And then I've got my white wire, one of the leads here, and solder. First, I'm going to tin the wire. First, make sure your tip is good and tin. Nice shiny tip. That'll help heat to flow. So I'm just going to take the Take the white wire here and hold my soldering iron up. It's really hard to do with these tiny little wires. And I might as well do the same with the yellow wire while I get on. Okay. And I'm going to do the same with my lights. Okay. So it doesn't take too much. So I've got to make sure I have my heat shrink on first. So the white wire is the headlight wire always. Here's my headlight. Figure out how to twist these tiny, tiny little wires around. You know what? I'm actually going to strip some more off of this. It's much. I think I can twist them together better. Now, since I tinned both of them, solder, I should be able to touch them, and the solder they should just melt into each if I can get them twisted. That's like I said. That's the problem with these little wires is they don't want to twist. Nice shiny solder joint, which is what I want. One warning about these heat guns is don't use them to dry your hair. It even says on the side, the heat exceeds 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Unless you want to singe your hair off, don't use those as a hair dryer. Okay, now I'm going to twist these two together. The um, rear light, because it's always a yellow wire. Don't want to stay together. Tiny little wires. Oops, you know what I forgot to do? Take that apart. I forgot to put my piece of heat shrink on there. Yeah, before I solder it. I said when you if you don't use these lights that have the bridge rectifier on, you got to be careful which side you put to the common. It won't work other way. Wrong side with the common. I think the side with the resistor goes to the common. It's been so long since I did one like that. I always keep soldering iron. Solder joint. I'm gonna wait just a minute to shrink that one. Happy, how's it going? Dave Thurber, good to see you. Yeah, and that's the side art with the resistor on it, if I'm not mistaken. Or does it matter which side the resistor goes on? Can't remember. Like I said, it's been so long since I've done one. Maybe it doesn't matter which side the resistor goes on as long as you have the positive uh, of the LED to the common. I'm gonna strip this one. B 10 So I got to ask Steve 87, which do you like better, watching paint dry or watching somebody sit here and solder wires? All right. Not 10. Randall Ellison, did I say hey to you? If I didn't, hello. Iron Horse Route. Hi, how's it going? Melvin Fackler, good to see you. John 2618, good to see you in here. All right. So do wire. So I have all three here. You know what? Strip this. All right. Blue. Before I forget. Shrink. See if I can twist two smaller ones together first. Never understood why these wires twist together. I'll solder them. Just to the blue wire. Oops. Shrink fell off. The strangest thing of why these things don't twist together. And solder looks like they're even further apart. Very strange. Very, very strange. Extra solder on. Safe to say. Okay. That's it. Now let me see how I did. If the light comes on, then we'll be, you'll know successful. Yeah. All right. Well, I hadn't shorted anything out at least. Steve Childers, how you doing? Where's the fire extinguisher? I know we need it. All right. It's set to forward. Hey, how about that? There, I got a light. I'm going to put it to reverse. And I have a light in reverse. Perfect. I should paint that black because now I have a cab light too. Maybe I'll just leave a cab light. All right. Try it out, and then I'm going to go back in and heat my my heat shrink. Heat shrink's done. Soldering's done. Now the moment of truth, putting it all back together. So what I like to do is use some of this Kaptan tape. It's kind of a copperish gold color looking tape. And it's extremely thin, so you can use it, and of course, non-conductive. Use it to hold things down. One of the things I want to do is on the side. I don't know if you see this on the side, how well you can see that. It's orange wire. Goes in that little slot. And I just want to make sure it stays there. Just going to use a little piece of And this will help if you ever have to take the shell off too. You won't have a bunch of things flying. I am going to try to get these wires in some semblance of order. What I can do is I'm going to take another piece of Kaptan. Sticky. I want this as neat as possible. Of course, with these kinds of decoders, it's not as easy. The wire's neat. And I'm going to shove these back in this little groove here, if I can. Best I can. And this little thing here was what covered the light before, the way it was in there originally. So I'm just going to use it as a cover and put another piece of Kaptan tape. So it doesn't come off. So you don't want it too long because you don't want it to interfere with this flywheel or have a chance of it interfering with the flywheel. So I will cut it a little shorter. So, should have had my X-Acto knife. Should have. There we go. So this is a moment of truth. Will everything fit? Got everything kind of taped there. Let's see what happens. And it's the front I was having the most problems with. And it seemed to go down. Yep, it's going to clear the couplers. So, go. Now let me see if I put it back on and make sure I didn't get a introduce a short here. I shouldn't. I always like to check it. All right, sounds coming up. Does the front light come on? Yes, it does. First, the back light comes on. So, let's say that that's good. Horn still works. Now all I have to do is walk down here to the other end. Get some of my couplers. Hi, Shay. How's it going? You stick the fuel tank back on here. And it had some plastic stuff in it. So I am not. I can't believe it's already 10-2. All right, coupler box. Slides in there somehow. Always love how these don't ever go back in as easily as they came out. Oh, look at that. Guess I have the cover on the phone. All right, let me find my screwdriver. Sometimes it's good to use a toothpick. You have one to line up the hole. Well, I've got a problem here. I knew it. So I'm going to have to fix it off camera, but it looks like there's, I might have the wires trapped under here between the speaker and the shell. So it's not pushing down as far as it should. on the back end. So front end went in just real easily. It seems to be the back end. So I'm going to have to fix that off camera, because I'm just going to have to fiddle with it. Y'all don't want to sit there and watch me fiddle with it. Thanks, Norman. Could I be paid to watch me work? So just a couple of things. Just a couple programming things. I think I'll go over one programming thing because I think it's pretty neat. And if y'all have a piece of paper and you want to write this down, now this is for Tsunami Soundtrack's Tsunami 2 decoder. So, and not the Economy. But if you want to write this down, I thought this was a pretty good thing. And Jason helped me with this. Jason, the train freak. Because remember, he's a Soundtrack's dealer now. And he helped me with this program. I think it's pretty good. Now, usually when an engine or a locomotive goes across a crossing, they not only blow the crossing horn, but they they also ring the bell a lot of times. So yeah, thanks, Art. So this is a pretty neat programming option. You can do it. You can have the bell ring when you hit the crossing horn. So to do that, and you can actually do this with a TCS decoder. It's just different CV values as well. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do. I don't know how to do that. So I've got my decoder. I'm just going to program it on the main. So in 4115 is the number. So hit enter and CV. So the first thing you want to do is CV32. You want to make sure it is set to a value of 1. Okay. Then after that, how long do you want the bell to ring when you hit the crossing horn? So the max value is 15, and that's what I set mine for, was 15. So that's CV60 is set. I'm setting mine to 15, so that means it's going to ring for 15 seconds once I hit the crossing horn. The CV122 is the next one, and this is going to add the bell to the grade crossing logic. Okay, CV122 and 129 is the value you want to. Okay, so now the bell is part when you hit the function key for the grade crossing. It will now ring the bell because it's been added to that logic. The next one, now TCS decoders come with their grade crossing horn at CV4, and that's what I wanted to do also, was set all my decoders to where the grade crossing functions were on CV4. So that's real easy. You just take normally by default their CV or function 4 on the Tsunami decoders is the dynamic break. Okay, so but I'm going to move my grade crossing stuff to function 4, to the function 4 button. So all I need to do is set CV278 to 4. And to move my dynamic brake back to 9 where the grade crossing function was, I'm going to do CV299 CV299 to 9. So now now my dynamic brake sound will work when I hit the number 9 button. Okay. So now if I've done everything right, here's what happens when I hit 4. Oh. And you can hear my bell will go now for 15 seconds. There you go. So now if I hit button 4, it does the grade crossing and rings the bell automatically. And I can still use the bell independently by hitting the bell button or function 1. So I thought that's a pretty good little function to know about when you, even if you want to leave it at 9, you can do that. You just don't do the last 2 steps. That's all that I showed you. And that leaves, because like I said, tsunamis come by default. The grade crossing logic is function 9 button. So just leave off the last 2 steps if you want to leave it at 9. So that's just a pretty neat little feature you can do with your sound decoders. Like I said, you can do it with other sound decoders. You just have to, the CVs might be a little bit different. That's all. All right, 6:58. Wow. So that is incredible that that we're already done. And of course, remember with the Tsunami decoder, if you want to shut it down, just hit function 6. And on an NCE decoder, shift headlight will get you into the other function keys, and 22 is the cab chatter. So if you want to hear the cab radio going, you can do that. So, what do y'all think? Any questions? No? Still lurking, okay. Uh-oh, Ian's seen. No, sorry. Sorry, Dave, nothing to blow up. So let me try to switch my camera back and see what happens. Hey, how about that? It came back easier and it went away. Thanks, Joe. Nobody has any questions, huh? Wow. Well, I tell you what, everybody, I appreciate you showing up. Go ahead and promote your channels. Don't forget that we have a group on MeWe. MeWe's another social platform. If you haven't joined MeWe, thanks, Pappy. If you haven't joined MeWe, go ahead and join. We've got a model railroad group, and actually, Dave from Crooked River and Eastern has a MeWe group too. So we've got a couple of people who have groups on MeWe. Thanks, Norm. No, I'm not doing it to an N scale. I can't even see it. So, yeah, so go over and join our MeWe page if you want to do that. And I haven't got my coffee mug out here, so I can't do a plug for the Flying Crow Teespring account. So, darn. Wilmer, 830. Wow. Yeah, he is. Wilmer's doing a great build series on different things. He hadn't seen his gas station and his post office. MeWe, yep, MeWe.com. 240 for New Fenris. Live stream at 12 Eastern on Anfield Layout in the Loft. Thank you, Dave. Kyle, 86 subs. Nothing new. I'm so bored. No, you're not. Let's get Kyle up to 100. 14 more people can subscribe to Kyle tonight, and we can have him up there. Same with Roy Eltham. Look, 188. All he needs is 12 more people to get to 200. We can do that easily. Yeah, NCE is great. I love the NCE system. It's always so easy. So try Pappy's at 459. Wow. Get him up to 500. He's pretty close like me. I've got like 441. So Ian's not typing the number. He's okay. So, no, the grade crossing, Dave. Sorry. It doesn't blow up. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. It's just model trains, and I'm just going to hold on. I'll post, let me post the link real quick to the MeWe. If I can find the link. Crazy. All right. See if that works. Try that one and let me know. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Yeah, do a layout update, Shay. Let's get Shay up there. We can easily get him to 50 tonight. Yeah. Don't forget Dave Thurber. If you're up at 7:30 a.m., which I'm not, which would be 6:30 here, check out his morning brew. Dave, if I was up that early, I would definitely join, but good luck getting me up at 6:30 in the morning. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me, and I'm going to say goodnight. And I really do appreciate everybody being here. So y'all take it easy, and we will see you next time. Don't forget, next week, Dave Thurber at the Crooked River and Eastern is hosting On Track Tuesday. And all the other live streams, like Benny, on Friday nights, and Heath, and the Sidetrack Sunday guys, and all those guys. So don't miss out. Talk to y'all later.